what's up? It's your boy Chuckles here. Got another treat for you guys. This week we're doing a review on the brand new Elite Force MP5 SD. Alright guys, so what we have here is the brand new offering from the competition line from Elite Force / Umarax. Is a licensed MP5 SD competition level rifle. And these things are brand new. They came out a little over a month ago. But they're still new to everybody. They're still making waves. People are still pretty impressed by them. So we're here to figure out why. So here's a full review on this thing. Now, let's start off with what you all came here for, which is the suppressed front end. Now, there's no foam or anything. It's nothing that's crazy. It's just there. It does have the big orange tip on it. You can remove a pin on the side here. You'd have to pull away at the rest of the orange tip to be able to get the pin out to remove it, but there's no real reason to. It looks fine, just paint it black, I think. The suppressor comes out pretty easy, so you twist it counterclockwise, so turn it to the left, and it comes straight off. It's a quick 90-degree turn, no big deal. Comes right off. You can see down it, there's nothing really in it. You'll hear in a little bit how much of a function and a difference it makes. Underneath that, you have another orange tip, so if you decide that you don't have any need for the suppressor, which does add quite some length if you just want an MP5 that works, you could have this, but it's going to look like 80% less cool than it does with the suppressor on it. And it goes back on just the same way that you took it off. The rest of the body is injection molded polymer, so it's still really solid. I was surprised. At first I thought the upper was metal, but it's not. It's all just a very high quality polymer. All of the mounting hardware, everything's pretty much going to be, other than the magazine, is going to be the polymer. So, you have the front sight, not adjustable for anything, but still pretty cool. You can adjust it for height, I think. It has a grub screw, so you can adjust it, but you wouldn't want to so much. Up front, it also has a little clip right here, normally where most people you would see on most MP5s, kind of similar to the takedown pin, so you can access the battery space. You have, it's actually inside of the body, is the front sling mount. So it'll fit a very specific mount, like the HK style mounts. It won't just fit any kind of sling mount if you want to do a whole 2-point thing. That's no problem. You have the charging handle, which is plastic. It might just be the ones that we have, but they're incredibly hard to pull back. But that would be all for look. You can still do the HK slap, but it's plastic. It'll break a lot better. But other than that, it serves no function. Normally it would open the chamber so you could see the hop-up, but that's not where the hop-up is. We'll go over that in a sec. Now, you have the grip. This is where the battery goes. So, 2 little tabs here. You gotta pull them out. 2 of them, boom. And then you slide off the handguard, and then you can access battery space. Now, battery-wise, you will be able to fit a 9.6 and an 8.4, some of those thicker batteries, but the problem you're going to run into is there's not really a lot of space with the fuse and everything in it. It's incredibly tight. You can make it work, you just need to finagle things around a lot, probably cut some of the zip ties that have the fuse to the barrel. There is no outer barrel or anything, it's only an inner barrel. This is the same on the other competition model that they just released. Now, what they recommend at most places is they recommend a 7.4 because it's pretty much going to be the same voltage-wise as running a 9.6 volt battery. It'll be able to hold up to that, but it's going to be a lot less of a headache trying to get a battery to fit in the handguard. So a split type or a stick type 7.4 will do fine. I have an 11.1 currently packed up in this thing, which is also super compact and easy to fit in there. So it has no problem. So once you kind of plug that in, boom, not so bad. Now the hop-up, it is at a new place. I've never seen this before. This is very fascinating. So the hop-up adjustment, the knob is outside the gun. So right on the left side, back of the handguard, just here. So fully forward means the hop-up is up. When you pull it back, the more you pull it back, the more hop you're going to add. So initially it'll move pretty easy. Then you'll kind of hit points where it has a little bit of tension. So you really have to be careful if you're adjusting it. You know, just you're there taking a few shots, kind of adjusting it there. You have to just be wary that you're not moving it. Suddenly you move it 3 feet. Boom, up top. Rear sight, standard MP5. You have the four different apertures that you can utilize. The smallest, largest. You can utilize all those. You can completely remove the sight by Phillips head up top. You can remove the rear sight. If you don't like the sights, which it's kind of incredibly difficult with a mask, like even with my face as it is now, I still have to press it down a lot to get it there. It does have the space that you can still mount a rail mounts for MP5s / G3s are like 20 bucks. So you just mount it up top. It'll mount right to the body. You'll have no problem. Super secure. Now, moving back, you have a collapsible stock. Now, the cool thing about this stock is that rather than just having two positions, open and closed, you have three. So you have closed, you have about a midway open, then you have fully open. And then, of course, you can completely remove it if you want to by holding that. So all you have to do is press this button right here, this lever, push it, collapse it, fully extend it. It's just nice that it gives you that option. There are a lot of peeps out there that are somewhere in the between. Like, if it's fully extended, it's too much, but if it's completely collapsed, it's too little. So just something nice is there for a lot of the younger players or players that might have a little bit of a harder time reaching. It's a very nice thing that they add on. The butt pad is rubberized and it is a concave, so it'll kind of go into your shoulders, but it's more on the lower side. So it'll go right underneath your shoulder, kind of tucks in really nicely. It gives you a really stable grip on the gun. And then you have this rear sling mount, which will be able to hold just about any kind of sling you want to put. You just clip it right there, it's on the body. 1-point sling, you can do 2-point style, doesn't matter. So that's pretty cool, I'd say. All right, guys, enough talk. Let's take this thing on over to the Chrono booth and see what kind of results we can get. All right, guys, we out here in the shooting booth. Got ourselves the MP5 by SRC. Let's see how this bad boy rips on an 11-1. Full auto. It's not that bad. All right, so not gonna say that. So you know that we have the suppressor on this thing. Does it actually have any suppressive effect? Let's test it out. Take it off. We'll see how it runs. Got some serious volume on that. Put it on. So the good thing is that it removes that kind of pop that you'll normally hear with the AEG. It's like, hear that, and then plugging it in. It's more of a thud than a pop. So it definitely has that kind of really cool suppressive effect. So it actually does work. It's not going to work 100% like, you know, in the real world, same kind of thing, but it definitely takes that pop away. So from a distance, they won't be able to hear you very well. Results from the Chrono booth are in, and the results are very good. So you'll see that consistently the MP5 with a 0.25 gram BB put out 320 to 325 feet per second rounds, which is really good. It's incredibly consistent. We didn't really see a deviation of more than 3 FPS, which is pretty good. When you have an 11-1 hooked up to this thing, was the most impressive part. You got 18 rounds a second, which is pretty crazy. You won't get that running a 9.6 or a 7.4, but an 11-1, just to see how you can maximize your performance. Kind of that. Definitely don't recommend using an 11-1 in this thing, unless you really don't care about the warranty, because this thing's already LiPo ready. But you can still use it if you plan on upgrading anything later. It is pretty much a standard version 2 gearbox. The only thing that's different is the nozzles on M4. It's an MP5 nozzle. But other than that, everything else is pretty standardized internally. The hop up that it's using is proprietary though, so you probably won't be able to upgrade that. But you can still upgrade the barrel, the bucking. All the standard things you're going to want to upgrade on. Final thoughts on this bad boy. If you're looking for a CQB gun and you're a beginner getting into the sport, an MP5 is definitely going to be a solid option, especially this one. You have that super cool look, but you have that competition level rifle. You have a decent bit, it's a version 2 gearbox, so upgrade and replacement parts are going to be pretty accessible. You have the 3-position adjustable stock, so you can get it to tune to just about whatever kind of way you want, which is really nice. Comfort level for different people. Like an M4, you have 6 positions. At least you have 3 positions rather than just open and closed. It's ambidextrous, so no matter what you do, if you're a righty or if you're genetically inferior and you're a lefty, you're going to have yourself covered, and you don't really have any issues other than that.
What's that about lefties?
And so, MP5 mags are also more compact. You'll be able to fit 2 MP5 mags in an M4 magazine holster, so you'll be able to carry 3 M4 mags on your person or 6 MP5 mags, which are pretty alright to me. I'd rather carry 6 of these than 3 of those. Or would I? But the trigger response is really fantastic. The rate of fire is pretty admirable. It's relatively easy to get access to battery space. You just have 2 pins rather than having to unscrew a bunch of stuff. They line up really easily. You don't have to do anything wonky-tonky, so it's really nice. Perfect competition level for looking at $150, $160 competition rifle. This is definitely going to be the guy to get you into the sport for CQB. Other than that, I think personally this would be a good platform. Drop the Polar Star in and get that suppressor, make it real minty so ain't nobody hearing it. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know your comments below. Have you tested this thing out? What do you think? You looking to get one? We have them here. You can always access them. So, what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Like this video if you haven't. Subscribe to our channel. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. It's been Chuckles, and we'll see you guys next time. Alright,
give me a quick startle there.
Okay.
It's like rappers nowadays.
Yeah, they're like, oh man, this is how a gun sounds, right? And then we're just like, nothing sounds like